Hello guys, this is Avcoor, back with some more Final Fantasy Ever Crisis content, and we have to do it. We've looked at the crossover, we've seen all of the costumes, we've seen all of the weapons, and now we gotta rank which ones are the best. So we have 4 weapons and 4 costumes. So let's start with the worst weapon. So of course we have to go to Garnet's Rod. What's good about it? What's bad about it? Let's talk about it. Some people have said some good stuff about Erth's costume. I think Erth's costume is one of the best costumes out right now because Erth herself is a very strong character. When you look at boost heal and boost HP, these are the two perfect stats to have on Erth as a healer. So there's nothing wrong with the costume. It's the weapon that is kind of sus. So why do I think the weapon is kind of sus? First of all, it costs 4 ATB in order to mid potency up your magic attack, which is not bad, but better skills that we will show actually do 2 things at once. So compared to the other weapons on this list, it's just limited in what it does. So first of all, it increases your magic attack. Second of all, it gives you Regan, which is solid, and it gives you a light heal. And the light heal isn't that much, but with Erth, it's actually viable. The best part about this weapon is the fact that it gives you boost HP as an R ability, and boost HP is so vital right now because the content is going to scale higher. That's what makes it valid. The support material is so. Attack boost, fine. Magic attack boost is fine. Nothing special. So when you max this thing out, if you want to max it out, you'll get 40 points of HP, which is really good on the R. And the magic attack potency is high, and it lasts for 38 seconds, which is really good. So overall, it's average, and the fact that it's limited only hurts its value. But the costume is good, and that's what I'll say about it. That's where I'll end it. I really like it, but this is not the thing I'm going to summon for because I am going to summon, but it's not for this. Okay, so let's go to crossover 3 and let's talk about Cloud. So the first thing I'll say about Cloud's weapon, it's not bad, but just compared to the other 2 weapons on this list, it's just not as good. His costume is extremely solid, boost HP, boost physical ability potential. When you play this game enough and you go on Reddit and Discord and people show their videos and you'll see Clouds hitting really ridiculous levels of physical damage, it's because they're using the boost physical ability potency. So don't feel bad when you see like some of these whales clock over like 100k damage. Don't feel bad because it's because of the combination of high stats and boost physical ability potency. Now that we've seen it like consistently used, we can actually validate its potential, and it's going to be something that all of us will have to invest in. So don't feel bad. It's just a really good costume, and those who have the money to purchase it, they are capable of doing insane amounts of damage. So his costume is really solid. The weapon itself is really solid as well. Like the support material, you get physical attack boost, sigil boost. These are all really great abilities. There's nothing wrong with his costume, with the weapon. The thing about it is, it's just not doing as much as the last 2 weapons on this list. So at max potency, you're getting boost physical attack plus 40 points, and you're getting boost physical ability potency 36 points. That's why you see a lot of whales clocking high amounts of damage. Because when you look at these R abilities, this is a great combination of R abilities. It's just amazing what they did with this weapon. The thing about it is, it's just not doing as much as the last two weapons, but it's doing a lot. It really is. 1,300 physical non-elemental damage. That's a lot. The thing about it is, the weapons that we're going to talk about after this at lower levels can perform really well. So I'm not bashing this weapon at all. It's a really great weapon. It's just the other two weapons are a little better. Okay? So I'm not bashing it. Don't get mad in the comments when, oh, he has a great weapon. He does. He really does. He has a great weapon, but the other two are better. That's all I'm saying. So let's look at the second to the last weapon. So when we look at Tifa's weapon, it just goes to show you the love that they have given this character. When you map out her weapons and their synergies, you're going to realize that Tifa shapes up to be one of the best characters in the game, bar none. She competes with Cloud, Sephiroth, and Erth, and that's about it. There's no other character that really comes close to her, and she fills a lot of roles. And this costume and weapon set only improves on those aspects. First of all, she gets to boost HP, boost physical ability potential. So if you play this game and you do enough co-ops, you'll see a lot of Tifas clock in a lot of damage. Don't feel bad. It's because of the costume and the weapon. And if you had the money, you'd be doing the same thing. So there's nothing wrong with it. You're going to see some really awesome Tifas once they start boosting this weapon to like OB10. You're going to see some really amazing Tifas because it's doing a lot for her kit. Amaret Claws does a lot for her kit. And if you play this, if you have noticed, if you watch a lot of people play, you'll notice that their Tifas have really high HP stats. It's because of Amaret's Claws. Because once you OB6 it, it's giving you 34 points of boost HP, and it's giving you boost physical ability potential. That's that's really amazing. That's the thing that sets it apart from Cloud's weapon is the fact that it is designed to be a sub weapon. And because of that, once I really start explaining things, you're going to realize this weapon is better. So this does not matter because it's a sub weapon and they knew that. So they only gave her boost physical attack, and that's fine. No Mercy is incredible. So with low investment, with zero investment, which you just want off in this weapon, you do 360 physical non-elemental damage with a crit percent, and you increase your physical attack to mid. That is insane. So what this weapon basically does is it sets her up in order to deal heavy damage on the second hit. For 4 ATB, you're getting damage, you're getting buff, and you're getting potential for crit. That's really good. And if you wanted to use it 2 times in a row, you get to extend it by 5 seconds. That's really good. So why do I say this weapon is better than Cloud's weapon? Because first of all, this is the law of games. And I'll say it, support ages better than DPS. So when you see support weapons like this, they simply just age better because there will always be a new DPS weapon to replace the old DPS weapon. So don't even worry about the fact that you didn't get Cloud's weapon because 2 to 3 months down the line there will be a better weapon. The problem with this weapon is there may not be a better support weapon for Tifa or for the next character coming up. That is the thing that concerns me with this weapon is the fact that there may not come another opportunity to get this weapon because it's so good. So if I actually roll the way I want to, I may actually have to roll to get Amaret's Claws because they're so good. This is a really good weapon for you to be able to boost your stats and still do damage at the same time. That's why Erth's weapon is not as good as one would think initially. It's not that great. The R abilities are good, but it itself is not that great. 630% physical damage, and then you get physical attack, okay, high, which that's insane, man. That's so stupid. That's really stupid. If you get high at OB6, that's stupid. 720, 40 seconds, 48 seconds, that's stupid. This weapon is just really stupid. The fact they gave her a weapon that actually improves her other weapon choices is really freaking insane. Somebody really had like a big brain moment when they were designing this character, and it shows. I kind of regret not pulling for her, but I like Barrett more, even though he's kind of like the weakest character now. And that's just being honest. In a vacuum, he really is. Like him and Red 13, I think, are the weakest units right now. So let's talk about one of the strongest units in the game. Sephiroth got the best weapon, obviously. There's really no. There's really no. Man, they really just. It got real stupid. This thing got real stupid. To the point where I'm going to have to summon for his weapon because it's so stupid. I know that some people will watch my earlier video and say, hey, Avcoor, you're full of it because you said that, there's some flaws in the weapon. And there are flaws in this weapon, but the overall utility of the weapon itself cancels out the negative effects. I have seen this weapon used in real time, and it is frightening what it can do. There are whales that I have played with, and there has been these like guys who didn't whale, like possibly F2P players. And with this weapon, they were able to contribute in a way that made them equal to whales. That's how powerful this weapon is. So I'm going to explain why this weapon is so good. First, Kuja's attire is pretty solid. In fact, Kuja's attire is something that you pretty much want for your Sephiroth because, first of all, you're getting the boost HP, which you really need, and you're getting boost magic ability potency, which is really awesome. So if you have the time or the resources, you really should try to get Sun Umbrella, some stars on it. That's what I'm gonna do, and it will really pair well with this costume. I mean, this costume is really good. It looks good too, but the functionality is really good. It's really good. So here we come to Flare Star. So before we get to Flare Star, let's just look at the R abilities. This is the perfect R ability setup. You're getting boost magical attack. You're getting boost ability potency. That's the only flaw. Let me take that back. I thought it was boost magic. I said this before. Boost ability potency sucks on this weapon. This is one of the flaws. I'm sorry. This is one of the flaws on this weapon. I forgot my old video. So yeah, this is the only flaw. This is one of the biggest flaws, I think. Boost ability potency. It should have been boost magic potency. And this would have been really, really, really good. But I guess they had to limit this weapon and its overall potential because that'd have been insane. So Flare Star is one of the best debuffing weapons in the game. Because first of all, it does solid 340% magic non-elemental damage. It hits all enemies with a crit percentage. Also, you reduce magic attack by mid potency to all enemies. And if you do it twice, you extend by 6 seconds. So if your HP is 50% or more, you decrease physical attack, which is mid. This is what makes this weapon so good and kind of the crown jewel of this whole crossover garbage, which I'll talk about in a later video because this crossover was pure D garbage. If you play this game enough, you're going to know that maintaining your HP above 50% is kind of mandatory. Not so much easy, but mandatory if you want to clear content. So that allows you to debuff two different stats, two different attacking stats. A counter argument will say that Tifa, if you have her built, can do both. She can debuff magic attack and she can debuff physical attack, and that's true. But for some of us who did not build Tifa, this is this is kind of a must summon. I debated this. I was testing it out. I played with a lot of different players, and until you actually see it in real time, you can't really appreciate the power of this weapon. It's especially if you're a free to play player and you just jumped onto this game. This is something you should roll on because it will help you later on, especially in tower, especially in dungeons. This weapon is amazing. This is the best AoE weapon in the game. It kind of sucks that Barrett was cut. Barrett has a non-elemental weapon that does non-elemental damage, and that's about it. And this weapon is just totally acing him. So when you look at support material, he has Sigil Boost Triangle. That's kind of stupid. They're giving this dude everything he could ever want, and he's got 2 magic boosts. The only problem with this is if he had an elemental boost on this, this would be absolutely cracked. If he had boost magic ability potency, this would be absolutely broken. This weapon would be absolutely broken. Because think about it like this: if you just one off this weapon, just one off this weapon, and you put it in your sub slot, you have your main ice weapon, and you put this in your sub slot, and you hit an AOE blast, you're automatically dropping 2 stacks of either attack or magic attack, which is absolutely insane. And to all enemies, the reason why I have to summon for this is because this is going to be really good in dungeon. Any dungeon content that we come through, this is absolutely going to be key. It's going to be clutch. There's just no comparison. I had my thoughts about this weapon, but once I saw it used, it's absolutely ridiculous what this weapon can do. And I would encourage everybody, if you have enough resources, just to get like one of them. You don't need like a bunch. Just get one, because even at one at like 90, just like 1 star, it still gets the job done. But anyways, if you like my content, the like, share, subscribe button. I'm coming right back with a summon video. I'm going to have to swallow it, and just I had to summon for it because I don't have Tifa. I don't have a debuffer that can debuff physical attack, and we're going through a lot of content and we're seeing the value of debuffs, and this is kind of a must get. Anyways, laters.